Welcome, everybody, to the Tuesday edition of the Huddle Hub podcast. My name is Mike, and I'm joined here, as always, with the Candyman, Mr. Johnny H., the Pick Master. How you doing on this wonderful Football Tuesday?
I'm doing good. Had a good nap. Woken up. Let's go. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm excited about tonight's show. We got a fun segment to do tonight. We're going to do some conference/division comparisons on what divisions and conference was more dominant in the Super Bowl era. We're going to talk about players that a list of players came out that are going to get that are possibly getting cut this offseason. And I think some of these names are going to even surprise you, John. And plus, we're going to get into the news of everything. So before we do,
in the franchise player territory right now, the off season is just beginning. So.
Yep, franchise tag period started today. That's right. So we're going to get into that stuff as well. Before we do, everybody head over to the Huddle Hub podcast over on social media on X and TikTok at the Huddle Hub Pod, over on YouTube at the Huddle Hub Pod. You're going to hit the follow button on X and TikTok, the subscribe button on the YouTube. That's how you follow. You can also hit that follow button on Twitch at the Huddle Hub Podcast. All the links to all of our social medias are in the bio. So whatever one you desire to go to, because I know not everybody uses all the social medias, head over to the one that you desire, hit that follow and or subscribe button, and help us build the Huddle Hub podcast through 2026 and beyond. We are also on Instagram now at the Huddle Hub Pod as of yesterday. So we are now on Instagram, John. We are broadening our horizons a little bit, and we are now on Instagram as well. So that's another one that that's the thing, John, is getting so used to posting on YouTube and TikTok throughout the whole season, right? And then when you get to the off season and you add something new, it's like you got to program your brain of like, oh, wait, I got to post here too because we just jumped on there 24 hours ago. So a little behind the eight ball on the Instagram thing, but, we'll catch up. We'll be fine. So
right, we will.
We're doing good with everything that's going on anyways, and appreciate everybody's support that's supporting now and anybody who's going to support in the future. Yeah. Huddle Hub Podcast is growing, man. We are growing. So let's get into the news of things, John. There is football news. I mean, obviously, like you mentioned, franchise tag period started today. Not too much action yet. It's only day one. A lot of talk. Okay. But there is some news that happened coming out of Miami in the past 24 hours. The Miami Dolphins have released the following players. Wide receiver Tyreek Hill, defensive end Bradley Chubb, offensive guard James Daniels, and wide receiver Nick Westbrook-Ikhine. Now, John, there is also rumors going around that Jalen Waddle went to the front office earlier today and said, "Make me next. Get me out of here." There's rumors. Not sure how true this is, but if Jalen Waddles is next, what does this mean for the Miami Dolphins other than rebuild?
Means there's a lot of bad stuff going on behind the scenes in Miami. Tyreek Hill's going to be gone, and now Waddle wants out. They're trying to figure out how to deal Tua with his contract. So there's the new head coach in Miami has his work cut out for him because that culture needs to change there. That's at least on offense, that culture needs to change.
I mean, Bradley Chubb was definitely a big part of that defense as well, and to let him go.
I was surprised at that. I was like, what? He's one of their star players. Why? That doesn't make sense, but
that kind of caught me off guard. I mean, seeing the Tyreek thing first off, did that surprise me too much? Not really. Because of the past talks about him getting traded out of Miami and possibly going back to Kansas City. You had mentioned to me off air that, maybe there's a possibility he goes to Kansas City.
Kansas City with their receiver woes, even though he's coming off of an ACL injury. Y'all know what he did in Kansas City the first time he was there.
Yeah.
The receiver's been their weakest area the past 2 seasons. Bring him back. Sign Mahomes. Mahomes, get his boy back. Let them reconnect. And we may see Kansas City have a real fast bounce back from this year.
if not Kansas City, if you had to see one or two places that he may go, where else do you think he could end up? Because Tyreek Hill is going to play football this year. It's going to happen.
Well, I could think of San Francisco, who doesn't have a core number one receiver, even though I don't know how I would feel about that coming up of an ACL. He may lose some of his speed, but a reduced speed Tyreek Hill is probably still a pretty fast Tyreek Hill. Who else could use a solid number one? I'm trying to think right now, just scrolling through my head of the teams in the league.
I mean, I was thinking San Francisco to the same thing. I was also thinking about San Francisco as well. I honestly was.
Wouldn't that be something if Dallas nabbed him? Since I thought I read something about George Pickens leaving.
Well, so what's happening is Dallas is expected to franchise tag George Pickens, but then there's rumor that they might trade him after franchise tagging him. Yeah. So
maybe Tennessee, they have a very young receiving core.
They do.
Maybe get them a solid number one to help mentor the younger kids. Like, I don't think it's going to be a situation where teams are afraid to sign him. I feel like he doesn't have a bad attitude off season, like that type of thing that people
he don't have a bad reputation.
Sign him.
He has a really good reputation.
He usually stays out of trouble.
Yeah.
So someone's going to sign him.
Yeah, he has a really good reputation. I mean, he has kind of like a mentality like us. Like when he's at home, he likes to play video games and stream and,
maybe
just enjoy himself.
I'm trying to say all the NFC East teams, but maybe the Giants give somebody to help take the pressure off of Malik Neighbors, give their young quarterback a new shiny toy to play with. There's a lot of ways that he could go. I mean, the Jets, but I would stay out of that dumpster fire. There's a lot of teams that could use him.
I mean, I'll say this: the Jets, even though they have 12 draft picks this year, and they are in complete rebuild mode, they are. I mean, any
a solid number one. I mean, there's a lot of teams that could use him. He could be plugged into most rosters right away.
Here's my opinion: Tyreek Hill, he's going to be looking for that one last big contract. This is going to be it, especially with how old he is. I know he's still young, but he's also in that stage of coming off the injury. And he was in Miami for 5 or 6 years. And then before that, Kansas City.
They have a lot of cap room this year. I think I read the Raiders have a lot of cap room this year. They're probably gonna draft Fernando Mendoza, give him a shiny new toy, along with Brock Bowers and Ashton Genty.
Well, I mean, not to get too much into the cap space, but the team with the most cap right now is the Tennessee Titans with $99 million of cap space.
I already mentioned them.
Yeah, you did. Well, my opinion is I think San Francisco. I think that would be a number one landing spot for him to go to. And there's a reason why, and we're going to talk about that in a few moments. But the Miami Dolphins, it just seems like they're kind of tearing the house down and rebuilding basically at this point. Bradley Chubb is another one that kind of surprised me. I can see him going to somewhere like San Francisco as well. Like those two guys right there to San Francisco. And as long as San Francisco has the money or they can work out the contracts, I can see those guys, both of them, being in San Francisco in 2026.
I don't know. I don't know if I'd want to play for San Francisco the way all their defenders got hurt the last 2 years. So something's going on over there. I think I would stay away.
This was also a rough year for the injury. I mean, the injury list was stacked this year.
Yeah, but it's 2 years in a row. Like,
yeah.
I read an article that John Lynch is looking into like the power cables and the electrical lines as to some reason why the Niners kept getting hurt the last 2 years. And I'm like, man, y'all looking at like voodoo witchcraft soon. If you're looking at power lines being the reason, it's like who cast the curse on San Francisco?
Well, let's stick around the San Francisco 49ers. George Kittle did an interview during Super Bowl week, and this interview was just released. And he did mention that a lot of moves are going to be made this offseason in San Francisco. A lot of guys do plan on returning to the team this year, but also guys that were with the team a year or two ago left are possibly coming back. One name in particular, Deebo Samuels. Being a 49ers fan, John, how would you feel about Deebo coming back?
I'll take him back. They need all the help they can get at wide receiver. Maybe we got the curse of the Deebo. They had the curse of the Bambino. Now they got the curse of the Deebo. He left and they all got hurt. Come on back. Come on back.
I mean, Deebo Samuels, he was I'll say this. I was a fan of Deebo when he was in San Francisco. I was a fan of him when he was in Washington too, but
I was
he was
ready to leave by the time he left because he acted like a diva by the time he left.
Yeah.
But clearly they chose the pure receiver over the gadget man, and the pure receiver did not play for them after he signed that contract. So I will take the gadget man back. Let's redo that and get rid of Ayuk.
And that's what I mean is Deebo Samuel, he's one of those guys. He can go out for passes. He can play the slot. He can be in the backfield and run. He can go out for a pass from the backfield. He is an all-purpose type of guy, which a lot of teams nowadays might need because of how schemes are run nowadays. So for San Francisco to throw him another contract and say, hey, come back home, why not?
I would take him. I would take him.
Yeah, why not?
I mean, they don't need help at running game anymore now that one, that McCaffrey isn't on the cover of Madden anymore, and two, they have Brian Robinson Jr. to take the pressure off of them like they did this year. So we're good at running back spot. He's the only one that didn't get hurt in the offense. Him and Juszczyk.
How's it going, Cam? Thank you for joining us on the Tuesday edition of the Huddle Up Podcast.
Hey,
Appreciate
Cam.
being here tonight. John, as we talked about, franchise tag has started today. And here are some of the names that are on the list of possibles that might get franchise tagged by their teams. The number one person on this list, Kenneth Walker III, the running back from the Seattle Seahawks, Super Bowl 60 MVP. There's a possibility he may be out of Seattle.
He's not going anywhere. That 1-2 punch, especially when Charbonnet got hurt at the end of the year, they're not letting him walk. They're going to pay him. They're going to franchise him, and then they're going to re-sign him. That 1-2 punch isn't going anywhere. They probably have the best running back field in the NFL between Walker and Charbonnet.
I mean, I was scrolling along some Seattle, talking boards online today and everything like that, and the fans are just pretty much like, "Do not let him get away."
They're not going to let him get away. He's too good.
Yeah. So I mean, he's number one on the list. Number two is George Pickens, wide receiver of the Cowboys. Obviously, we talked about him. Cowboys franchise tagging him, but then the rumors of them trading him afterwards. Do you think that would be a bad move by Dallas to do that?
I do, because they don't have a solid number two of the mix. They have a nice 1-2 punch with Lamb and Pickens. Why? I mean, isn't the goal to get as many weapons for Dak as possible? I mean, why? Javonte Williams was good in the backfield for him. So take him away. I mean, unless they draft another receiver like Lemon from USC, Carnell Brown from Ohio State,
Jacoby Lane.
Yeah, Jacoby Lane. Unless they plan on going that route and grooming a young guy, which would make sense.
Yeah.
But other than that, unless you plan on going after a Tyreek Hill or somebody else, I don't see the point. Pickens is a good receiver. Somebody's going to probably get a good deal on him if they trade him.
I was talking to somebody about the Cowboys yesterday, and I even said it, and this is coming from an Eagles fan. The Cowboys are not a bad team. They're not in a bad position player-wise with what's on the field. Dak is a good quarterback. He's proven that. His pass percentage, his pass rating, his yardage, his touchdown to interception ratio these past 2 years have not been bad. And then to add George Pickens to the mix and what George Pickens brought to the 2025 season for the Cowboys, that's not your problem. What's on the field is not your problem. Your problem is the one sitting up in the box that makes all the decisions. That's their problem.
Let the
You know,
GM do his job. Owners and GMs are
well,
not a
Jerry
good
is the
thing.
GM. They don't
What's
have a
that?
GM. Jerry is the
That's what I
GM.
mean. I mean, Washington fans with Daniel Snyder, Raider fans with Al Davis. Owner GM doesn't work. It
No.
doesn't work at all. They need to just no, they have a GM, I think. Didn't they hire one? Every team has one.
He's like an assistant, but Jerry is the main GM.
Yeah, I mean that's the problem.
And I think it's his son who is the assistant GM.
Oh, he's grooming him to take over the business.
Yeah.
So the Cowboy way stays in Dallas.
It's basically an all Jones front office in Dallas.
But I mean, like what you said, Dak isn't a bad quarterback.
He's not.
He just can't win in the playoffs. But to be fair, Romo couldn't win in the playoffs too. They haven't really been solid in that category since they lost Aikman.
Yeah. Jerry's going to name himself Overlord of Dallas. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it's going to be the Dallas Jones.
The Dallas Jones.
Yeah, the Dallas Jerry's.
Jerry Dallas Jones, Texas. That's going to be the name of the city.
Yeah.
A couple other names on this list: Daniel Jones, quarterback of the Colts, and Alec Pierce, wide receiver of the Colts. So the Colts have two players to kind of worry about. Do you think the Colts should tag Daniel Jones for what he did this season before the injury?
I think they should sign him for a 2 or 3 year deal.
I can agree with that.
And use him as a bridge quarterback and draft their next quarterback. Granted, they have Riley Leonard, and I really don't know what to. I mean, I don't remember him playing terrible. He was good for Notre Dame when he played him, but I don't know if they really consider him as the quarterback of the future. Why not draft somebody in the 2nd or 3rd round, groom him behind Daniel Jones, and then just use him as a bridge quarterback? That's what I would do if I was in Indianapolis, because Indiana Jones was great till he got hurt. They were 8-1, something like that, and then he got hurt and it all fell apart.
Yeah.
So, I mean, keep him there. He just like Sam Darnold resurrected his career in Minnesota, and then a year later won the Super Bowl with Seattle.
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe he just needed to get off of the Giants, and now we're seeing the real Daniel Jones. So I would keep him for a couple years, use him as a bridge quarterback, and then see what happens. See if the young quarterback that you get is ready to take over.
I agree. And the other thing, too, is if Daniel Jones ends up giving them 2 or 3 years, if they do end up giving him a contract, and he gives them 2 or 3 years of expectations and goes over those expectations, just keep Anthony Richardson as your backup. Don't waste the money.
Oh, no, I don't think he's worth it. He's been a bust.
Yeah, but he'd be a backup. He'd be
on
the bench.
Man.
And if you keep Riley Leonard around, Riley Leonard, by the way, 58.2 completion percentage this year, 415 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 67.7 rating. He only played 2 full games, but he appeared in 5. And in those 2 games, so he appeared against the Titans, where he had a real bad timeout. Played against the Jaguars twice, but one was a full game. The other one wasn't. And then he appeared against the 49ers for a few moments, and then the Texans for, I think, against the Texans in week 18. So, not bad for a backup coming in and taking over for a game or two.
Bad for a rookie. I mean, Shedeur looked terrible some games, and then some games he looked like the future of Cleveland. So, I mean, it's a rookie. That's not a bad rookie year. Cam Ward struggled too. I mean, his stats weren't like top of the league.
Yeah.
Like, it's a rookie year. Like, it's very, I could forgive Leonard for those stats.
3 more players that are being notable on this list. Tight end of the Falcons, Kyle Pitts. Defensive end of the Bengals, Trey Hendrickson. And running back from the Jets, Breece Hall. I'm going to say this first, John. I think the Falcons need to do what they can do to keep Pitts. I think the Bengals do what they need to do to keep Hendrickson. And as far as Breece Hall for the Jets, I mean, if I was Breece Hall, I wouldn't even think about just go somewhere else, go into free agency. I understand at the beginning of the year he said he wants a contract with New York, but dude, like it doesn't look good in New York right
Has
now.
to say that though. He can't say I
does.
want off this team.
Yeah,
That's a red flag. He has to ride that situation out.
yeah,
But I
and
would too. The Jets are the biggest dumpster fire in the NFL. That it used to be the Browns, and then somehow it became the Jets. That they're just bad right now.
yeah, and looking at Breece Hall's stats for the year, I mean, he didn't have a bad year. 243 carries, 1,065 yards, 4 touchdowns. He was averaging 4.4 yards per carry. And he had 36 receptions out of the backfield. So he didn't have a bad year. But would you consider that a contract year? I mean, maybe for the year it was, because it wasn't really the big year of the running back like it was in 2024. So but Kyle Pitts, you think Atlanta should do everything they can to keep him?
I would let him walk.
Okay.
Kyle Pitts has not lived up to his expectations. I mean, the guy was supposed to walk in and become the next Tony Gonzalez, the next Jeremy Shockey, Jason Witten. This guy was supposed to be what Brock Bowers is. And he had that good rookie year, and then it just never really bounced back from it. I would just cut my losses and then try to find somebody, whether through the draft or just another tight end that's serviceable.
Yeah. I'm guessing Cam, you're talking about selling the team. What team are you talking about?
That was when we were talking about the Jets.
For the Jets? Okay, I get it. I mean, if they keep playing the way that they're playing, the NFL can actually force them to sell. They can. It almost happened to Cleveland.
But the thing is, and I showed you this, if you look at the home game attendance this year, the Jets and Giants are in the top 5.
Yeah.
So fans are coming to these games. They're still supporting the team. It's just management doesn't know what the heck they're doing over there.
No.
So it's not like people aren't coming to the games. They're in top 5 attendance, which really, like I said, surprised me. That I could understand the Giants, especially after Jackson Dart came onto the scene, and just kind of him and Cam Scatterbo just stole the show especially before Scatterbo got hurt. But the Jets really surprised me that they were in the top 5 of attendance. I figured they'd be at the bottom 5.
Yeah, the Jets were like a plus. And I have this.
I showed it to you when I saw it, because I just couldn't believe who was in the top 5 for attendance and who wasn't.
Yeah, so the Jets were,
since Philly was in the bottom 10, I was like, "Are you serious?"
The Jets were number 4. They had 660,246 fans show up. They were a plus 108,718 fans from 2024. The Giants, they were a negative 67,936 from 2024. They had 706,000 show up in 2024. And in 2025, they had 638,000. So, the Jets, people are still showing up.
Yeah, it's not a matter of the fans saying this product is bad, we're not coming, like how the fans do in baseball. But I mean, they are full on supporting their Jets. It's just management really needs to clean up the culture.
Yes.
And they need to start getting the right players in at the right positions for that team to turn around.
Jets are winning anything top 5 aren't winning anything top 5 attendance.
Sounds like Philly fans. Fans only show up to get drunk.
I mean, that could be true in New York. It could be. I mean,
I believe it.
Yeah. And then the last one, Trey Hendrickson. I mean, obviously the Bengals, they need help on defense. Keeping him would be a crucial thing to do. I mean, they had that contract issue last year.
Bradley Chubb, the Bengals.
Yeah, they could. They could.
I honestly think because you mentioned San Francisco with Bradley Chubb.
Yeah.
If they could have a year where they don't get hit with the injuries like they did the last 2 years, I don't think they need Bradley Chubb. But because they made it to the divisional round this year with people coming off the street. So it's just a matter of the team staying healthy. I think the Bengals would be a perfect team to go after him.
And Cam, your question about the culture in New York. I mean, you hear all the rumors about how they scout players and everything like that. You know, for example, the owner listens to his teenage son about Madden ratings and stuff like that, and that stuff is true, which is crazy enough to think about.
I couldn't believe he said that in an article at the beginning of the year.
Yeah. I mean, that's part of the culture. That's something they need to clean up. Stop listening to your 15-year-old son about Madden ratings. That don't matter. This is real life. You know, there's so much that needs to be cleaned up in New York. And they can bring in a top 5 wide receiver and a top 5 quarterback. Ain't going to change nothing. They got a lot of stuff they got to change before, you know, they just got a lot of stuff to change. They do.
Listen,
they have a lot more to change.
Forgive them for bringing in Justin Fields because it made sense. He didn't play bad for Pittsburgh. And I don't think he really played that bad for Chicago when they had him. And it made sense because you had your college wide receiver, Garrett Wilson there. It made sense. It just didn't work. So I can forgive them for that move. But other than that, you all need to really figure out the GM spot.
Yeah. And the thing is a lot of people were questioning, should they have fired, you know, Aaron Glenn? And it's like, why? Because he had a bad first year. Look at how things are right now. It's not really his fault. He's doing what he can with what was put on the field for him. And then you go and trade away arguably your best defensive back mid-season to the Colts.
They got rid of Saleh draft pick. 2 years, I think.
Saleh was there, I think, like 2 or 3 years.
He didn't even have a chance to build that defense up. Like, I was scratching my head with him going to Tennessee. I was like, all right, well, hopefully see you back home in a couple seasons. Just stay as the Niners defensive coordinator and you'll last in this league. Okay.
I actually looked at Tennessee's coaching staff and they built a pretty good coaching staff. They did build one. So,
I mean, they're trying to turn it around.
They are. But that's that for the guys that are notable for franchise tag. We'll have to keep an eye on that as the week goes on. JJ Jansen, long snapper of the Panthers, he signed re-signed a 1-year contract, and he is returning for his 18th season to the Panthers.
All that. I was like, that's pretty impressive that a guy other than a kicker is in the league for 18 seasons and with the same team. Like,
yeah.
Granted, all he is the long snapper, so it's not like he's on the field like the other guys as often, but that's pretty impressive.
Yeah. DeAndre Swift, running back of the Bears, he is about to hit the free agent market. The big question is should the Bears keep him?
Absolutely. They had a great 1-2 punch at running back this year. It helped take the pressure off of Caleb Williams and helped propel them into the playoffs, to be honest with you. I would do everything to bring him back. Now, I get it. Swift wants to be the guy. He doesn't want to have to share his carries, but it worked. It was a good 1-2 punch. I would definitely I don't know. I would consider going back to Chicago if I was him.
So, you know me, I scroll along the internet of TikTok lives and everything throughout the day and night and everything like that. And he was a part of there's a lot of jersey helmet breaks on TikTok. There's this really big one in particular that I came across, and DeAndre Swift was actually on this live back on the Saturday before the Super Bowl. And he actually had a lot of great things to say about Kyle Monangai. He's happy to play with the kid, sharing carries and everything like that. And whether it's something he's supposed to say or if he's genuinely saying it is nor here or there. I think he does need to go back to Chicago. Chicago looked great this year. And if they can keep building on what they had, I mean, the offensive line, spectacular. The running back room, spectacular. Receiving core, spectacular. Caleb Williams got better. Defense got better. Chicago can end up taking over the NFC North in 2026, maybe by 2027.
It's the defense that needs to get better. Yeah,
Yeah.
they led the league in takeaways.
Yeah.
But that's it. They didn't lead the league in sacks. They didn't lead the league in interceptions. I know an interception's a takeaway, but at the same time, they weren't a top run defense. They weren't a top passing defense. That's where they need to prove. They just happened to make the plays when they needed the plays. The defense was the weak spot for Chicago this year, not the offense. So that's like I said, that's the area they need to improve.
And I'm sure they'll do that this offseason. I'm sure they will. They took care of this.
That's another team right there that could swoop right in and go for him.
Trey Hendrickson too. Yeah.
Yeah.
If Trey doesn't get tagged.
He's been wanting out of Cleveland.
Yeah. So, he was
Cincinnati.
JJ Jansen is a long snapper in Carolina. He's been there for 18 seasons, Cam. So that is a record for a long snapper. Ronnie Hickman, defensive back of the Browns, he is being treated for some injuries that he suffered on Monday in New York. He was released and recovering from the hospital. So just a little bit of news there on Ronnie Hickman. Mike Evans, wide receiver of the Bucs, he is also going to be coming back in 2026, and he does plan on exploring free agency. I mean, what does this mean for Tampa Bay? Number one, are they in trouble without Mike Evans, or do you think Mike Evans, it's time for him to go somewhere else?
No, keep him a buck. He's like Mr. Tampa Bay. Didn't he do this before?
He did.
He looked to see what offers and then ultimately came back to a buck at Tampa Bay. I think it's going to be the same thing. He's not going anywhere. They need to keep him.
Yeah. I mean, because they got Emeka Ibuka, and who's the other receiver?
Chris
Godwin. Yeah.
Chris Godwin, yeah.
Yeah. And Chris Godwin, he wasn't both him and Evans both got hurt this year. So to have Evans back. Huh?
All three of them were out at one point.
Yeah, they were.
Ibuka was the top rookie receiver before he got hurt.
Yeah.
And then McMillan in Carolina just stole the show from him.
Yeah, you're right. So I can agree with that. I think Mike Evans, he can explore free agency. If I had to think of one landing spot for him, if he were to go elsewhere, actually, I have two in mind. Green Bay is one of them. Green Bay is one because, let's face it, Green Bay needs some help in that receiving core. They do. They have a decent one.
The problem is all their young receivers were hurt too at one point. I think they have a solid receiving core because it's young.
Yeah, but I think some veteran presence in that room would help them, because I get it. Yeah, you make the playoffs and you're in. That's great. But do you want to keep making the playoffs as a 7 seed, be on the road all the time, and have to fight through a whole playoff? I mean, they've gotten eliminated these last 2 years in the wild card round. Year one of the 7 seed, they got to the divisional round, and then they got bumped. Do you want to keep doing that? That's got to be the question in their mind. And yes, you got a nice young receiving core. Their receiving core is not bad, but to get a veteran presence, I don't think it would be a bad idea. I don't think it would. And for Mike Evans to go in there, he would be that veteran presence. The other landing spot I had in mind for him, and I know you're probably going to hate me for saying this, but the Rams.
You don't need them.
They don't, but I feel like that would be a landing spot for him.
Funny enough, in my offline for Madden, I'm about to start year 2 because year 1 was a complete fiasco for me. And Mike Evans actually went to the Patriots. I saw that and I was like, are you serious? The Patriots?
Yeah. I can honestly see that too. I could see him being a Patriot.
He's going to be a Buccaneer. I would bet any amount of money. He's going to be a Buck for life.
Yeah. I mean, I have no doubt that he'll be back in Tampa Bay, but if I had
the Hall of Fame as a Buccaneer, he's going to be put in their Ring of Honor. This guy is like Mr. Tampa Bay.
Well, we'll have to see where Mike Evans
by the fans.
We'll have to see where Mike Evans lands. But speaking of a guy for a team, Robert Woods has made the decision to retire. He signed a 1-day contract with the Rams today, and after 13 seasons has decided to retire. He was drafted back in 2013 in the second round, 41st overall to the Bills. He was there until 2016. Then he was with the Rams from 2017 to 2021. He won the Super Bowl with the Rams. In Tennessee in 2022, he was with Houston in 23 and 24. And then he signed with the Steelers at the beginning of 25 to their practice squad, but got released before the season happened. His stat line, 683 catches, 8,233 yards, and 38 touchdowns in his career, and he is a Super Bowl champion. Robert Woods, wide receiver, has decided to retire after 13 years. So good luck
He was
in
probably
retirement.
the best journeyman, best serviceable receiver that was in the NFL. Like, he had a career. He's not a top known guy, but he showed up whenever for every team he played for. So
He was a plug-and-play guy.
that's what I mean. Like, he made a great career of being a plug and play guy. Like I said, the best serviceable receiver that was in the NFL at this point.
Yeah. John, there are some players that could be possibly cut. And yes, I do have the list on the bottom there as scrolling as we follow along. Here's the list of players, and I'll run it down, and we will talk about them for a few minutes here. Number 1, Tua Tagovailoa. If Dolphins cannot find a trade partner, then there's a possibility that they could cut him. I mean, obviously, that's notable. I mean, the Tua is going to be gone in Miami, no matter what. I mean, they are trying to rebuild that team.
He was never the same since that year. He had 2 concussions, and they kept putting him in. They mishandled his career.
Yeah. Geno Smith, quarterback of the Raiders, he can also be cut.
I could see that. He had a very bad year.
He did.
And they're going to draft Fernando Mendoza anyways with number 1 overall probably. So, yeah, Geno might be time for Geno to retire or just realize it's time to be a backup.
I was thinking that too. Either be a backup or just say goodbye to the game and be done, or go play in the new International Arena League if you still want to play or something. They've got a new league coming up. They're going to need players. They kick off in less than 60 days, John, and they don't have full rosters for these teams yet.
I don't even know this league. So,
yeah, it's called the International Arena Football League. There is 5 teams in the United States, and there are 5 teams in the UK. So yeah, Pennsylvania. I mean, I have the list of teams.
Is that the league the Reading team's going to be playing in?
The Benjamins,
the
yes.
Reading Benjamins.
The Pennsylvania Benjamins, but yeah, they're home based in Reading.
I saw that Reading got a Arena League team. I just thought it might have been for the regular Arena League. I didn't know about an international league.
No, the original Arena Football League no longer exists. That's gone. I believe
didn't even realize.
Yeah, I believe that's gone. Now the International Arena League is the new premier Arena Football League, as far as I know. So, but yeah, they're home based in Reading, but they're just Pennsylvania Benjamins. And yeah, they kick off against the Las Vegas team April 18th or 19th. It's a Saturday, and they go out to Vegas to kick off against the Vegas team. So
that's okay. I'll watch the UFL over them.
Tony Pollard, running back of the Titans, he could be cut as well.
I don't agree with that, man. He showed up for every team he's played for. He's one of my fantasy studs that I draft in the middle to late rounds every year. And he shows up, even splitting carries with Spears. Like, he showed up. I don't agree with that, man. Keep that 1-2 punch together.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised to see that there's a possibility Tony Pollard can be cut as well from Tennessee. Another one that I'm surprised in seeing on this list is Joe Mixon, running back of the Texans.
I could believe that because, let's be honest, what's he done for Houston, really? I mean, he was hurt. He missed all of this year.
Yeah.
And that really kind of hurt the team at that spot. In some ways, they did find the young running back who stepped up for him.
Yeah.
But he was a big disappointment for them. Go back to Cincinnati.
The Titans seem to be opening their doors and letting more players out. Calvin Ridley, wide receiver, could be gone.
I could see that. I mean, he had a disappointing year somewhat.
He did. He was in and out of the on and off that injured list a little bit this year.
Yep.
He was. So it was a rough go for him this year.
Plus, they have 2 very good young receivers that really stepped up for Cam Ward this year.
Yeah, they did. 2 players from Buffalo, Curtis Samuels, wide receiver, and Dawson Knox, the tight end, could be cut.
I could see them both go. I mean, they really aren't contributors.
No, because Buffalo has their other tight end that mainly Dalton Kincaid.
Yep.
He takes most of the snaps anyways. So
I know.
Marlon Humphreys, defensive back of the Ravens, could be gone.
That
That's
kind of surprises me because
yeah.
Baltimore's defense was really unlike Baltimore this year. It wasn't that good, but I could see them trying to go younger.
Cam was kind of pushing for this during the season. I think he might get his wish. Patrick Queen, linebacker of the Steelers, may be cut.
I could see that.
You know, when Patrick Queen got traded to the Steelers, I honestly was excited for Pittsburgh. I was
didn't
because
pan out for him though.
it didn't, which is crazy, which is so crazy because he did so good in Baltimore. It's like when he went to Pittsburgh, it's like, what happened?
Yeah.
You know, you were a hell of a linebacker in Baltimore. What happened when you showed up in Pittsburgh?
You're gonna go back to Baltimore and be a hell of a linebacker again.
Yeah, watch that happen. Yeah. Eric Armstead, defensive tackle, the Jaguars. He might be cut.
Really?
Yes.
Ever since he left San Francisco, he really,
It's been rough
to
for
me,
him.
he hasn't done anything.
No, he hasn't. Maybe he goes back to San Francisco.
They don't need him. if everyone stays healthy, they don't need him.
If you have to give kudos to San Francisco for one thing, it is their defensive line. They are stacked. Like they are depth in
They
the
need
defensive line position.
secondary. That's what they need.
Yeah. They don't need to keep adding names to that defensive tackle, edge rusher list.
Yeah.
They are deep. Kenny Moore, defensive back of the Colts, and Zaire Franklin, linebacker of the Colts.
I know Kenny Moore is getting older, but that kind of surprises me a bit.
Yeah, because he's a key piece of that defensive backfield.
Play, I think. Like,
yeah.
I think they should keep Moore.
I want to look at his stat line for this year because, yeah, I know he's a key part of that defensive backfield for Indianapolis. Let's look at his stat line for this year. He had 34 combined tackles, 21 assisted. So that means he had 13 solo tackles, 1.5 sacks. He had an interception. Yeah, that was it. No forced fumbles.
He had
no
a
safeties.
very down year. His age might start be showing, but
I wouldn't say down. It was kind of average because in 2024 he had 27 assisted, 51 combined, 23, 25 assisted with 68 combined.
Okay.
50 combined with 15 assisted in 2022. So
somebody I wouldn't want to throw on, but
yeah, like if you look at his stat line from 2017 up until now, it was a pretty average year for Kenny Moore. Everything looks the same, close to it. So it's kind of surprising because he is kind of a big part to that defensive backfield. And if you're going to bring in young guys, why would you not keep that veteran presence there?
Yeah, help mentor him.
I mean, maybe they're going to rely on Sauce Gardner because Sauce Gardner's a little younger, but he's in his third or fourth season now.
Yeah.
You know, so who knows? Maybe that's what they're relying on. Christian Fulton, defensive back of the Jets. Not Jets, Chiefs. I'm sorry. Chiefs, not Jets. Sorry.
I feel like the Chiefs should keep everybody on defense that they possibly can have.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, they're not exactly like leading the league in defense and anything.
Defensive tackle Harrison Phillip of the Jets is going to be.
If I was a Jet, I would want off that team too. So I would be happy. Cut me. Hey, pick me.
The Titans are looking on the defensive side of the ball. L'Jarius Sneed, defensive back, is on the cut list possibly.
Kind of surprised.
That's surprising.
That's what I mean. I don't know if they should get rid of him.
When I looked at this list on the defensive side of things, this one was the biggest one that kind of surprises me to see because I've been saying this for the past couple weeks now. The Browns defense, they are ready to go. Like they are a defense that is ready to go. They just need to get the offense figured out.
I agree.
Denzel Ward is on this list.
Oh, they might see something that we don't see, but yeah. I wouldn't cut him either.
I wouldn't either. That's why I looked at it and I was like, what? Denzel Ward is on this list? Why? For what? Like, he's a key part of this defense. Like, why would you do that? You have your three levels figured out. Myles Garrett, Carson Schwessinger, and Ward. You have your presence there. I mean, yeah, Carson's a rookie, but still, he had a hell of a year. Obviously, he won Defensive Rookie of the Year.
As he should have.
Yeah. So, like, that's why I say The Browns have their defense figured out. It's just they got to get that offense rolling. And now you're possibly going to cut arguably your biggest name in that defensive backfield. Why? And their cap room can't be that bad. Their cap room right now, they are looking out. They're in the negatives right now. But when they add that money
in, anybody on offense, because their offense is really young.
Well, right now they're negative $19.5 million in the cap. But once the new year starts, it'll change.
The cap goes up.
Yeah, they're going to kind of even that out. They'll probably be in the plus side of things once that extra.
They'll definitely be in the plus side of things.
Yeah, because I think every team is getting like an extra $60 million in cap space for this year.
Every year it goes up. So.
Yeah. So that's I don't know, but that's the possible players getting cut this season, this off season. So could end up becoming free agents. So yeah. Well, John, we are at the part of the show where we have a fun little segment. See, John, that's the thing about February is the off season just started. So for like the next month, we kind of do these fun little segments where we find things to talk about.
Real quick,
of course, go for it.
There's something that I want to touch on.
Of course,
it's a bit of sad news.
Mm-hmm.
Today, Northern Iowa tight end Parker Sutherland passed away. He collapsed in practice 2 days ago. Yeah, he was 18 years old. Appeared in 4 games last year for him. So I just wanted to get that news out there. So condolences to the family of Parker Sutherland.
Yeah, definitely.
18 years old is way, way, way too young to pass.
I mean, I remember when the NFL went and changed. I know this wasn't the NFL, this is college football. But I remember when the NFL, they went and changed the ruling for training camp because of how hot it was. There was players collapsing. I believe there was even a player that passed away a few years ago. Yeah. And they changed all the ruling. Now, obviously, it's not warm out right now in many parts of the country, but in some parts of the country, it is still fairly nice outside. But it's the off season, so I mean, it is very, very sad news. It very much is, and way too young, and yeah, condolences out to his family and friends and teammates, coaches, everybody who was a part of his life, definitely. So yeah, that bit of news I did not see. So this is the first time I'm hearing of it. So yeah. But as I was saying, John, it is February. Off season's just starting. So February, it is a little rough. Sometimes, we got to find stuff to talk about to kind of fill in the show because, free agency starts in the middle of March. So for the next, couple weeks, we're going to have fun little segments to do, kind of bring some fun to the show. And me and you had a discussion the other day off air about what conference dominates the Super Bowl more. We had a little bit of a discussion about this. So I thought this would be a fun segment to do. We can do some comparisons on what conference and divisions have dominated the Super Bowl era. Now, to note, from Super Bowl 1 through 10, there is going to be a little bit of an off record when it comes to the conferences because the Baltimore Colts did not go over to the AFC until 1970. But how I did this was I kept them in the AFC through Super Bowl 1 through 10 because of the fact we are in the modern era and they carry those Super Bowls with them.
Well, that was their first. That was their first Super Bowl in the AFC because the Colts won in 71, so that would have been the 70 season.
I believe they won their first one in 68.
No, 68 was Super Bowl 2, Green Bay. Green Bay beating Oakland.
Then I must have read that wrong. I might have read that wrong. Let me check real quick.
Because the first Super Bowl was January 15th, 1967.
69 is when Baltimore made it, but they lost.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I forgot they played the Jets in 3.
You're right, though. They did win the first one in 71. You are right about that.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but I counted Baltimore as an AFC team. Nonetheless, I counted Baltimore as the AFC team because they carried over in the modern era of being in the AFC anyways. So the Super Bowl 1 through 10 is going to be a little bit of an off record. Okay. So Super Bowl 1 through 10, John, the NFC went 3-6. in Super Bowls 1 through 10, and the AFC went 7-4.
Crazy
Dominant.
that 2 of those 3 were the Packers in the first 2.
Yeah. So in the NFC side of things, the East, Super Bowl 1 through 10, the East went 1-3. The North went 2-3. The West and South they didn't make any. In the AFC side of thing, the East went 3-1. The West went 1-2. The North went 2-0, and the South went 1-1. The South is the Colts. So it's crazy how that comparison is, though. And yeah, Super Bowl 11 through 20. Okay, they both went 5-5. Okay. So the NFC East went 2-3, West went 2-1, North went 1-1, and the South went 0-0. In the AFC, the East went 0-3, the West went 3-1, the North went 2-1, and the South went 0-0. So the South, kind of the struggles there in the early years of the Super Bowl era, which is crazy. And if you have anything to say, just stop me, because I'm gonna throw these out, or we could just put these out there right quick, and then we could just discuss.
Well, the next 10 years should be
Super Bowl 21 through 30. The NFC went 10-0.
Yeah, that was the year of the Cowboys dominating. The Niners had 2 in there.
Yep.
So,
well, the NFC East went 7-0. The West went 3-0. Okay. And then on the AFC side of things, the East went 0-4, the West went 0-4, and the North went 0-2.
Yeah, the 90s was all NFC.
Yeah. It's crazy. Super Bowl 31 through 40, the NFC went 3-7, AFC went 7-3. The East went 0-2, West went 1-2, North went 1-1, South went 1-2. And then on the AFC side of things, the East went 3-1, the West went 2-1, the North went 2-0, and the South went 0-1.
Well, that was the beginning of New England's dominance, so I could believe that.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh had some in there too.
Yeah. Super Bowl 41 through 50, again, 5-5 each side. NFC East went 2-0, West went 1-3, North went 1-1, South went 1-1. And then the AFC side of things, the East went 1-2, the West went 1-1, the North went 2-1, and the South went 1-1. And then 51 through 60, again, 5-5. They split. The East went 2-1 in the NFC. The West went 2-3, North 0-0, South 1-1. And then on the AFC side of things, the East 2-2, West 3-2, North 0-1, and then the South 0-0. With the overall conference record, the NFC 31-28 and the AFC 29-32.
Crazy thing is, the AFC side was 2 teams. That was it.
Yeah.
Crazy thing.
Yeah. It's crazy.
It was either New England or Kansas City.
So as of right now, John, the NFC 31 wins and the AFC 29. So the NFC
basically just had the era of the 90s for the AFC.
I mean, you look at these records, it's insane, especially that 10-0 record that the NFC had back between Super Bowl 21 and 30. And you knew that was all Cowboys and Niners. All Cowboys and Niners. Like, which is the crazy part.
Packers were in there too. I think, didn't they win 2? Or was that split up between that era and the next era?
So yeah, the Packers won Super Bowl 31. So they were 31 through 40. But the Packers made 2, but only won 1.
Denver. I always forget that they lost Denver the next year.
They beat the Patriots in Super Bowl 31, lost to Denver in Super Bowl 32, and then Denver won Super Bowl 33.
Oh yeah, they crushed Atlanta. I remember that.
Yep. Rams won 34, Ravens won 35.
By 1 yard.
Yeah. Kevin Dyson was stopped.
1 yard.
Yep. Kevin Dyson. I remember that call too by what's his name? He does Thursday Night Football now. He used to do Monday night, Sunday night.
Yeah.
You know who I'm talking about.
Yep.
Is it Al Davis? No. I forget his name. Anyways, he's on Thursday Night Football every Thursday. I remember his call. He goes, Kevin Dyson stopped at the 1 yard line. The Rams win the Super Bowl. He just went nuts. It was crazy. I remember watching that game too. It was snowing out, had off of school the next day because of the snow. I remember that like it was yesterday, which is crazy. And that was back in 1999 that happened. Well, it was the beginning of 2000 because the year switched over. So,
Yeah.
but we had arguably one of the greatest plays in playoff history. That playoff with the Music City Miracle against the Bills that kicked off the Titans' run to the Super Bowl.
Big comeback.
Yeah, Steve McNair having a hell of a playoff that year. Like that was a great playoff. That was, and the way the Titans ended, even in a loss by 1 yard. 1 yard was nuts. But John, I mean, your thoughts, man. The NFC right now, obviously, they lead by 2 games in the Super Bowl. We are entering the era of the 60s now. We just finished Super Bowl 60. If you had to, do you think that any conference could end up dominating 61 through 70 in the next 10 years? I know it's a little bit of a stretch to think that far ahead, but with the way things are looking right now, is there any particular team or division that can end up running these next 10 years in the NFL?
I could see the NFC West. I mean, Seattle. Yeah, I got Seattle. You got the Rams. You got the Niners. Even the Niners, unhealthy, had a good year this year. I mean, I said it when I saw Seattle won the Super Bowl that they were truly the best team this year. They deserve to win. So, I mean, if Kansas City gets their stuff together, you have the West over there with the Chiefs, you have the Chargers, you have the Broncos. I mean, those are all 3 teams that could be contenders. I mean, you can't count Philly out. If Dallas ever gets their stuff together, the Giants look like they're on an upswing.
Yep.
So, I mean, but I honestly, I could see the West. So on both sides, because you have possibly 3 stacked teams. You also have, if Detroit bounces back, you got Green Bay, Detroit, and Chicago that are contenders. But I would probably say those are probably the top 3 divisions right there. Throw in Philly, throw in New England and Buffalo. But I didn't count them because they're only really one team in that division. But I would go the NFC West, AFC West, and NFC South. I mean North, sorry, NFC North would be the 3 divisions to watch the next 10 years.
Okay. Cam says he was 5 years old at the time when the Rams and Titans Super Bowl happened. At Super Bowl 34.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Cam just turned 30, I believe. So.
That was 2000.
Yeah.
So I was 17 when that happened.
I was
in high school. I was in my sophomore year of high school because 98 was my freshman year.
I was in my freshman year of high school. Yeah, I was in my freshman. Well, yeah, I was in 8th grade. 8th grade because I entered 9th grade in the year 2000. So I was in 8th grade at the time that happened.
My freshman year was 98, so my sophomore year started in 99 because I graduated in 2002.
Yeah. So if I had to look at it, though, as far as divisions for the next 10 years, starting with the AFC we'll start with the AFC. I mean, you look at the AFC East right now, the 2 oddball teams out are the Jets and Dolphins. I think the Patriots and Bills are going to have a battle at least the next 5 years for that division.
I didn't include them because it was 2 teams. Like I said, the ones I included were 3.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just going to break it down by division here just to kind of put it out there. The West, I mean, you look at it, you have the Chiefs, like you said, the Chiefs, Chargers, Broncos. If the Raiders get their stuff together, who knows? The Raiders can end up this next decade, being in that front run. The AFC North, Steelers are, I mean, if the Steelers with their new era of a new head coach, Mike McCarthy coming in, who knows how long he's going to be around. I think the Steelers right now, you got to look at it. Their quarterback position, I think, is their most important worried position because number 1 is Aaron Rodgers coming back. Number 2, if not, what is going to be their move for a quarterback? And is it going to be a quarterback that is going to get them rolling for the next 10 years? But then you look at the Browns, like I said, defense is ready. They need to get that offense together, and the Bengals need to get their defense together. If those 2 teams can get their stuff together, the AFC North can be a battle. Could be. And then the AFC South, with the Colts. If the Colts can repeat what they did last year at the beginning half of the year, but ride through until the end, you got them, you got the Texans. If the Titans get themselves built up, which I'm going to say this right now, I don't see the Titans being up there in the next 2 or 3 years. I see some bad seasons for Tennessee. Yeah, I see some bad seasons for Tennessee looking ahead.
Not going to be an instant flip.
No. And then Jacksonville, if they can pick up their momentum, like continue the momentum they had from this year, it could be a three-team race in the AFC South. You know, over on the NFC side of things, the NFC South, I mean, the Panthers are showing improvement. The Falcons, it's questionable whether they took a step back this year or not. I
gotta wonder, is Penix the guy over there?
Yeah.
How's his career gonna pan out?
The Saints obviously found their guy in Tyler Shough, you know, and then who is it? Panthers, Saints, Falcons. Who else is over in the side? The Bucks. The Bucks, I think they just had an off year. I do.
Their receivers were hurt. And Bucky Irving got hurt. Like all their key players on offense.
That's why I said they had an off year. They did. But then getting into the more dominant side of things in the NFC, like you said, the North is going to be a battle. It is. The NFC West is arguably the best division in football right now. I mean, with the way things go there, you know, minus the Cardinals, but the Cardinals get their stuff together and become, you know, just like the Raiders. You can have both sides in the West being crazy good. And then the NFC East, I mean, the Eagles, you can't count them out. The Giants, like you said, are upbuilding. The Cowboys, if they, you know, stop tripping over their own feet and the Commanders can get back to what they did in 2024, the NFC East could be a battle.
The problem with the Commanders was their guy got hurt. JD5 got hurt. I mean, Mariota did okay in his replacing him, but at the same time, he's no JD5.
Yeah. So, I mean, you look at it right now, and is there really a true division that could be dominant? Is there is there going to be a dominant conference in this next 10 years of Super Bowls?
I still think the NFC West, you even said it, is the best division in football.
Arguably, yeah. Arguably the best division in football. I
really see them stepping up this year. Not one specific team, but maybe a mixture of the three.
Yeah.
Or maybe a mixture of the Rams and the Seahawks, who, let's be honest, San Francisco hasn't. They're 0-3 in their last Super Bowls. Granted, they should have won the 2 against the Chiefs, but they didn't. Woulda, coulda, shoulda doesn't get you rings. So, but I completely agree. I think it's going to be the NFC West that really steps up.
I do have a question for you. Do you got time? I did my own personal power rankings this past week. Okay,
yeah, I got time.
You got time? I'm gonna run down from 32-31, and you say whether you agree or disagree with the spot of the team.
Super Bowl rankings, or
this is final 2025 all year rankings.
Okay.
All year rankings.
Okay.
Have it in my files here. And I'm going to say
Super Bowl records up on the screen. That's why I was saying, is this Super Bowl rankings?
No, I'm going to take that down. I just want to, and this is fitting for me to kind of bring this up because of us talking about this right now. But again, I did my own personal power rankings. I did post the video on social media as well. You guys can go check that out, and then go in the comment section and tell me whether you agree or disagree to it. But John, I want to do it live with you. And then if you could, say agree or disagree with the team being in that spot. Okay. So I'm going to start at number 32. Okay. So at number 32, the Jets.
Agree. They're a dumpster fire.
At 31, the Browns.
Disagree. I think with Shador showing that he could possibly be the guy, I think that they should be up a little bit higher.
Okay. At 30, the Raiders.
I disagree. I think the Raiders should be 31. They're terrible right now.
Okay. At 29, the Cardinals.
I could agree with that.
Okay. At 28, the Giants.
Disagree. I think the Giants I would put the Giants above the Titans, so I think I would put the Titans there.
Yep, because I have the Titans at 27.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll put you down as disagree for the Titans and put down that you would flip flop those. At
Yep.
26, the Commanders.
We're talking this year.
Yes. 2025.
Disagree. I would put them ahead of the Dolphins.
Okay. I have the Dolphins at 24. So
All right, so just swap them. So disagree with them.
okay, and I have the Bengals at 25.
I agree with that because they had Burrow going down, and it was just kind of Flacco couldn't save him. I agree with that.
Okay. I have the Saints at 23.
I might be crazy for saying this, but I would put the Saints above the Chiefs this year. So disagree.
Okay. That's fine. Not crazy at all. This is your opinion. So I have the Chiefs at 19. So you would put them at 19?
No, I would put the Chiefs at the number you just said.
Okay.
And then the Saints right above them.
Okay. I have the Falcons at 22.
I can agree with that.
Okay. The Vikings at 21.
I could agree with that.
Okay. Cowboys at 20.
Cowboys at 20.
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to think if there's any team that. You know what? I would put the Cowboys ahead of the Dolphins, so I would put the Dolphins at 20.
Well, the Cowboys, you said you would put the Cowboys ahead of the Dolphins. They are. They're at 20. The Dolphins are at 24.
Oh, okay, then I agree. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember this in my head as I'm going.
That's fine. The Buccaneers I have the Bucks at 18.
Bucks at 18. I agree with that. They had injury problems this year.
I have the Colts at 17.
Colts at 17.
Mhm.
I could agree with that.
Okay. I have the Panthers at 16.
I agree with that 100%.
I have the Ravens at 15.
Ravens at 15.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay. I have the Lions at 14.
Actually, can I disagree with the Ravens because I think they were better than the Lions? Put the Lions at 15.
Okay.
I forgot about them.
No, that's fine. Okay. At 13, I have the Packers. Now we're getting into like the playoff teams because obviously the playoff teams are a little higher.
I agree with that.
Okay. I have the Steelers at 12.
You know what? They surprised me this year. I'll agree with that.
Okay. I have the Eagles at 11.
Eagles at 11.
Uh-huh.
I disagree with that. I think they were a top 10 team. I would go the Chargers at 11.
I have the Chargers at 10.
Okay, so just swap them for me.
Okay. At number 9, I have the Jaguars.
9 is the Jaguars. Disagree. I would put San Francisco at 9 because of all the injuries they had.
You know what? I'm reading off the actual power rankings.
That's not yours.
Nope. So we gotta kind of.
Well, you know where I'm up to 9. So
okay. So I have here are my power rankings. I have the Jets. So I can go through this really quick. I have the Jets at 32. I have the Raiders at 31. And you agreed with that. You would move them to 31. I have the Titans at 30, which you said you would move them to 28.
Oh.
I have the Giants at 29. They were in 28 in the real thing. I have the Cardinals at 28, and they were 29 in the real. I have the Commanders at 27. So, and then like the Bengals, Browns, Dolphins, Falcons, Saints, they're all there. So we'll continue with the playoff team here. Okay, we'll start with the playoff teams, starting with the Steelers. You agree with them being at 12, but I have them at 13.
Okay.
Okay. I had the Chargers at 12. Okay. I had the Packers at 11.
Okay.
Would you agree with all those?
Yeah, because I think going into the top 10, I would have Philly, and then I have
Philly
San
at 10
Francisco because of all their injuries.
Well, here, I'll rapid fire the top 10 real quick. I have the Eagles at 10. Agreed?
Yeah.
At 9, the Jaguars.
No, I disagree. I think Jacksonville was better than San Fran this year because of all their injuries. So it's Niners at 9.
Okay. I have the Bills at 8.
Bills at 8.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that.
Okay. I have the Bears at 7.
Bears, I disagree. I would put the Texans there.
Okay. I have the Patriots at 6.
Disagree because they made it to the Super Bowl. At 6, I would put the Bears at 6.
Okay. I have the Broncos at 5.
Broncos at 5. Trying to think. What are the teams that are left? Yeah, I could agree with that.
Okay. I have the Texans at 4.
Actually, no. Put the Jaguars at 5 because I don't think I placed them yet.
Yeah, because you said you would put the Texans there and then the Jaguars, you would move up to 5.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I have the Texans at 4.
4, I would put. Did I place the Texans?
You did. You said you'd put them at 9 or 8.
Okay, well then put the Broncos at 4 because of Nick's injury.
Okay. I had the 49ers at 3.
And then I'm trying to think, who are the teams I have left?
Well, the last 3 teams at number 3, I have the 49ers. At 2, I put the Seahawks, and my number 1 team is the Rams.
Well, who do I have?
I wasn't writing the teams down. I was just asking if you agree or disagree with my placement.
Put the Rams at 3 for me because I didn't place them yet.
Okay.
And then 2 will be the Patriots and 1 will be the Seahawks.
Okay. I have the Rams as my number 1. I think the Rams, and I'm going to say this right now, I can agree to you to the extent of the Seahawks being the better team because they won the Super Bowl, but I think the Rams are a slightly better team.
I feel like the top 4 teams should be the conference championship teams, which is why I had all 4 conference championship teams there, and the top 2 teams should be the Super Bowl teams.
Yeah, sorry about that. I misread my my paper here because I had the regular NFL power rankings and then I had my personal ones and I'm like, oh crap. Ugh. And so I just think the Rams were a slightly better team than the Seahawks. Obviously the Seahawks got the better of them, but I think the Rams were better
this year. That I feel like the Seahawks proved that they were better than the Rams this year.
Well, all you got to do is go out and beat a team, and you prove that you're better than them. That's that. But they split 1-1 in the season series, and then the Seahawks won when it really mattered, and that was in the NFC title game.
So they were 2-1. That's why I couldn't put the Rams ahead of Seahawks.
You can't take away the fact that the Rams, for a second year in a row, a pass that went downfield that probably should have been a catch wasn't a catch because it happened. It happened to second best. It happened to Puka second year in a row. Last year against Philly, this year against Seattle. So
that's why they were my number 2 NFC team.
So, all right. Well, that's all we got tonight, John. That's it. I wanted to run the power rankings real quick. I did my personal ones. I posted them on social media. I have a video up on TikTok and on YouTube right now. If you want to go check that out, please do so. But please make sure you're going and checking out all of our social media. Again, on TikTok and X, you're going to hit that follow button. On YouTube, you're going to hit the subscribe button. And over on Instagram as well. We are on Instagram at the Huddle Hub Pod. You can hit the follow button there and help us build that, as well as hitting the follow button on Twitch here and helping us build the Huddle Hub podcast through 2026 offseason and beyond. John, your social medias are going to be on the bottom. Give me 1 second here because I gotta put that here. Ba-ba-bum. I promise you, I promise you I have everything. I promise you that
Come on, rookie.
I have everything. Don't call me a rookie.
Stop acting like one.
So here's the problem is my mouse. The battery's dying.
Mouse.
The battery's dying. So I'm having trouble navigating my mouse and it's moving very, very slowly. There, I finally got onto your thing. Your social medias are on the bottom. What do you want to let the people know?
Right now, I don't really have anything going on my social medias, to be honest with you. I'm still trying to figure out when I'm going to start streaming again with my work schedule. So I'm just working on it right now, just trying to figure out what I'm going to stream, when I'm going to stream. But eventually, I'll be back. I just don't know a projected date yet.
Okay. Well, make sure everybody go over and follow John on social media. He has recorded content as well, so go check that out and go follow him on Twitch. And then once he decides to start streaming again, once he figures all that out, you'll see when he goes live, turn the notifications on, and you could join him into his live streams. And you can also check out the recorded content of our Madden and our NCAA football stuff that we have up. We have a couple episodes up right now that you can go check out. We're working on our Madden franchise right now. We got back into doing that. Our college thing as well, which I got to play my games tonight. And sometime soon in the next maybe couple of weeks, we'll be doing another episode of our off-season stuff. So
that's right. Jerry World is turning into Candy World. So that's I took over the Cowboys. So
make sure you're following John on social media and checking out everything he has up there right now. Instagram, X, TikTok, Snapchat, MetalMike714 is where you can find me. I started doing some Fortnite streaming on TikTok. I'm kind of dipping my feet into having that as my posted content on my personal TikTok. But all my content creating is mainly here on the show. But yeah, come join me on TikTok lives as I do Fortnite streaming. And then I do my quarterback superstar streaming right here on the Huddle Hub podcast. Probably going to do a stream. I was going to stream tonight, but I'm probably just going to do the stream tomorrow of my next episode of my quarterback superstar. As I journey through my rookie year with the Rams, I finally became this. I became the starter in like week 11. I outbeat Matthew Stafford for the job. So, probably going to do a stream tomorrow with that. But other than that, you can follow me on social media, MetalMike714. That's all we got for you guys tonight. Please make sure, again, you're following John on social, me on social, and the Huddle Hub podcast on social media as well. Head over to the X for the show announcement for this weekend. I'm not sure whether I'm going to do the show on Saturday or Sunday. I'll figure that out by tomorrow, and then I'll make the announcement on X. Be good to each other, be kind to each other, take care of each other, be patient with each other. Remember, the world is not moving as fast as you can. Until this weekend, have a great night, everybody. Deuces.